The latest news from Tottenham that made waves this Friday brings updates on possible transfers, strategic decisions by Ange Postecoglou, and even a curious incident involving two Spurs players. Stay tuned to find out everything that happened and how it could impact the future of the club. But before we reveal this information, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so you always receive the latest Tottenham news we publish here daily. The name of Eberechi Eze, a Crystal Palace midfielder, was on Tottenham's radar throughout the summer transfer window. Rumors suggested that the club was interested in signing the star, and a £68 million release clause could have facilitated the deal. However, that clause expired, and the transfer did not materialize. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, the same release clause will be reactivated next summer with a base of £60 million plus £8 million in add-ons. This means that Eze could once again become a hot target in the market, especially if he maintains the level of performance he showed last season when he scored 11 goals and provided 6 assists in 31 games, despite having a campaign interrupted by injuries. Eze's stay at Palace was a surprise, even to the club's chairman, who expressed his relief at keeping him for another season. The club still has the option to renegotiate Eze's contract in an attempt to remove or modify this clause, protecting themselves from a possible departure. But if nothing changes, next summer could bring a new wave of uncertainty for the player and Palace as Tottenham and other clubs closely monitor the situation. In a decision that surprised many, manager Ange Postecoglou left out of Tottenham's UEFA Europa League squad two players who together represent a £45 million investment, Jed Spence and Sergio Reguilon. Jed Spence, who joined Tottenham from Middlesbrough in July 2022 for £15 million, had a promising pre-season and received praise from Postecoglou for his attitude and performance. However, the young right-back did not manage to convince the coach enough to secure a spot in the European squad. This could mean that Spence will have to settle for domestic competitions or even seek a temporary exit in January, as his absence in Europe significantly reduces his chances of playing time. Sergio Reguilon, on the other hand, was also left out of the squad. The left-back, signed for £30 million from Real Madrid in September 2020, was loaned to Manchester United last season and showed interest in returning to the club before the transfer window closed. However, the transfer did not materialize, and now Reguilon seems to face an uncertain future at Tottenham with no clear prospects of being used in the Premier League or European competitions. The absence of these two players from the UEFA Europa League squad raises questions about Tottenham's planning. With so much talent and investment involved, many believe that the club should have sought loans for Spence and Reguilon, giving them the opportunity to shine at other teams and potentially increase their market value. Now, it remains to be seen whether Tottenham will try to negotiate them in January or simply accept any offer that comes up. Another highlight in Tottenham's latest news was the incident involving Lucas Bergvall and goalkeeper Guglielmo Vicario. During the season opener against Leicester City, Bergvall lost the ball in a dangerous area which resulted in Leicester's equalizer. Vicario, frustrated with the 18-year-old's mistake, did not hesitate to show his dissatisfaction on the pitch, leading to a visible disagreement between the two players. Despite the incident causing some buzz among fans, especially considering Bergvall's youth and inexperience, the player himself downplayed the situation. In an interview with Aftonbladet, the Swede said the disagreement was resolved and that the two players had already talked about it. Sometimes you do worse things, sometimes you do better things. We were 1-0 up and had a fairly comfortable lead. We conceded the 1-1, and that's what happens. Everything is calm now. We've talked about it. Vicario said there are hot feelings, and things like that happen, said Bergvall. This type of situation is relatively common in football, especially in high-pressure moments. While some fans criticize Vicario for his reaction, the fact that Bergvall wasn't fazed by the incident and remained focused on his development is a good sign for the youngster's future at Tottenham. After all, he has already impressed in pre-season and participated in all Premier League games so far, showing that he has the potential to become one of the team's pillars. These were the main stories that made headlines at Tottenham this Friday. Now we want to hear your opinion, fans. What do you think about the possibility of Eberechi Eze joining Spurs next summer? Did Postecoglou make the right decision by leaving Spence and Reguilon out of the UEFA Europa League squad? And what about the disagreement between Bergvall and Vicario? Do you think it was an overreaction or just something normal in the game? Leave your comments below and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Tottenham updates. Until next time, come on you Spurs!